The French capital, where the latest Yellow Vest protest has descended into vandalism and looting and a heavy-handed police response. Behind me, you can see the live pictures from the scene. During the unrest, a producer for RT's video agency, Roughly, was hit by a rubber bullet while filming. The Yellow Vests still feel the need to vent their anger at Emmanuel Macron, despite his having just wrapped up a tour of the country as part of his effort to hold a national debate. Now let's look at some of the latest pictures from the unrest. Straight live now to Paris and RT's Paula Slier. A lot of chaotic scenes on the streets of the French capital over the last few months. How does this weekend compare?
Well, the mood here is certainly incredibly tense. Here I'm in front of the Arc de Triomphe and you can see a heavy police presence. There's a lull in clashes at the moment, but for the last 2 hours or so there have been violent scenes playing out here and along the Champs-Élysées. Now, looking at the ground, there are chunks of pavement that have been carved out and thrown at riot police officers. At the same time, they've been responding with tear gas canisters and rubber bullets. Now, a Roughly producer was hit by a rubber bullet in his leg and he's currently on the way to hospital and cannot walk. At the same time, for the past 18 consecutive weeks, we've witnessed these scenes and more than a dozen RT and Roughly staff, correspondents and producers have been injured. There is fire behind me, so there certainly is something that is burning. At the same time, there are ambulances that have been ferrying past. We know that at least 30 people have been detained, but that figure is likely to climb in the coming hours as the violence here ensues. Just a lull at the moment, but certainly monitoring the mood and the atmosphere on the ground, people are incredibly angry. Now, as I mentioned, this is the 18th consecutive week of violence that we are currently entering. And today is significant because yesterday was the end of the great debate that the French President Emmanuel Macron initiated to try and deal with the problem. He was engaging with people to try and see how he could better the complaints that drove the Yellow Vests and others to the streets in the first place. Gauging the mood here on the street, that great debate does seem to have failed. And talking to people, most believe that nothing has changed. At the same time, it's worth mentioning that people continue to arrive. There are thousands of people. Many of them have black balaclavas on. They're waving French flags. And so we're anticipating a day of violence, a day of protest, and unfortunately, a day in which we're likely to see more and more people injured.
Thank you, Paula. We have seen in the live pictures people have broken into stores, windows being smashed. Like you said, fires were also set. So RT's Paula Slier in Paris, thank you for staying across the story and the protests throughout the day for us.